Noah Hochman here, your host on STL TV. You'll notice, again, I'm out of the studio, yay. We are here at the Forest ReLeaf 30th anniversary, okay? And it's ReLeaf, R-E-L-E-A-F. How cute is that? Because they are giving away over 100 trees. There's a great turnout today. There's cake. Need I say more? I snagged the busiest person here today, Meredith Perkins, the executive director of the Forest ReLeaf. Meredith, how's it going today?
It's going amazing. We are so delighted. We sold out of our event and then some, and we've got waiting list of people that want to plant trees. So for us, this has really been proof of concept that people in the city want trees, they need trees, and what we're trying to do, our mission is plant trees in enriched communities, and it just fills my heart to see our community out here participating and partying with us on our 30th anniversary.
Yes, congratulations. Does not look a day past 29. The forests do not. So talk a little bit about your expectations and how the day's going so far.
So what we're really looking at here is the idea of potentially building out a satellite tree nursery. We have a tree nursery in Creve Coeur Park, and we grow 20,000 native trees and shrubs there. So all the trees that we're giving away today were born there, and we grew them out for a season, and we're distributing them now. But what we'd like to do is have a similar nursery operation here in the city where we can engage all these people that are planting trees in the volunteering to actually learn to grow them, to participate in that process, because we want to engage people and inspire them to plant trees and want that for their communities. So the more we can connect people with nature in those really meaningful ways, the more they're going to be advocates and tree champions for the future. So we're giving away trees because we want to grow the tree canopy in the city, one. And then we're also hoping that we get a lot of feedback from city residents on whether they would want and use our city tree nursery. So we have a feasibility and a concept survey out there right now. So if any of your viewers out there, that survey is online. So we're keeping it open past today so more people can look at it and give us their feedback and information on kind of what they think about it.
And that concept would take place literally in this space behind us?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's right. So we're actually partnering with the Scott Joplin House, and many people don't know it's a state park. So Scott Joplin House has a historic resource in Joplin's home, and they have an amazing player piano in there if anybody has not been in that museum. So the Scott Joplin House Museum is there, and they own all of these lots adjacent. And so when we were looking to partner, we were trying to find an allied organization that might work. And so they have, obviously, state parks. They're connected with nature. They want to bring conservation messaging. So it was a really nice partnership. So we will be programming the space and building it out, but we will be in partnership with state parks, and also the Missouri Department of Conservation is funding a lot of this effort.
Oh my gosh, I love it. The sky is the limit. You were doing so much great things. I think the turnout today is just really showing you like, we're on to something here.
That's right. That's right. I mean, and it's a representative of so many different kinds of people, so many different types of partners. And it really, I think it fills us with a lot of hope that trees really cross so many different boundaries. People can really get behind trees, and I will say we recognize that there's a lot of barriers to planting trees. Sure. There's, trees sometimes are messy, sometimes they take work, they have all of these different challenges that sometimes people are like, if I don't know that much, maybe I don't want to commit to that. And so the next step of this is really also helping build confidence in people, giving them resources to not only plant that tree, but be able to take care of it, be able to move through that process where it's a real asset to the neighborhood.
Yeah, and I was going to touch on the education element here. I mean, you've got so many great vendors you pulled together that are just educating all of your visitors today about what's going on, the potential the city has in this particular space, but also about the actual trees. I've heard you talk to every single person that's gotten a tree. You're like, well, this one, you got to do this. You know a lot about trees.
Well, it's funny. I actually grew up in downtown St. Louis, and I didn't know a thing about trees. And I went to forestry school because there wasn't anyone in my orbit that could tell me the difference between an oak and a maple. And I was like, well, I guess I got to go to college for that. and the first tree I planted was like, I dug a hole to China, and it was the worst thing ever. And so I tell people, like, it's not because you don't know. It's not because it's hard. It's just that a lot of us haven't had that experience before. And so, giving people those simple, like, techniques to succeed go such a long way. It's like in the beginning, you just plan to do a few things right and you're gonna have a really great tree.
Absolutely. Well, keep doing all the things right like you are. I'm so excited for what's to come. It's been really inspiring and educational today, and you've really brought the community together in a way that I have never seen. So thanks for all you're doing. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, thanks for coming out.
Right. I'm joined here by my new friend, Talisa. Talisa, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am awesome. I mean, what a beautiful day. What brought you and your family out here today?
So my dad actually, he stayed up one night trying to find a tree and looked up online, and then he found the website and signed up immediately, And it was just because our house, the sun really hits directly at the front door, so he wanted a tree to give us good shade, and so we picked out this red bud right here.
It is beautiful. It's perfect, and it's got even a lot of little clovers down there. If there's a 4-leaf clover, you're gonna have just good luck for life. Awesome. So this is a special tree that'll be for you and your family. When it gets a little bit bigger, provide some shade. How has the day been for you here?
It's been really good. We got some really good cake. I was just eating it earlier, and my little sister actually named the tree. She named it Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Oh, well, I've never met a tree named Marshmallow. So this is going to look gorgeous in your house. Thank you for talking with me. Enjoy the rest of the day. Go get some more cake. All right, well, I snagged Billy, the forestry manager, kind of a big deal with the forest ReLeaf. Billy, how has this day been going for you?
Oh, it's been going so great. Yeah, there was a line out the door, and we were really backed up in the beginning, and a steady flow of people since then coming to get a free tree.
Amazing. How do you think the city's going to respond? If this today kicked off and showed you how interested people are, what do you think is to come?
I think people are going to be really excited to have a tree farm in the city of St. Louis and be involved with growing a greener community. And people are going to want to come work with us, volunteer, plant trees, pot trees, and do what they can to help.
It's so cool just to hear and see how many different people are passionate about trees and how much just from overhearing people educating them on trees. So what is your role as a forestry manager?
Yeah, so my role is to take care of the trees outside of our nursery. Jake, our nursery manager, makes sure he creates high quality plant species for me, and then I'm the one that goes out and puts the right tree in the right spot and then makes sure those trees survive, so we're not just planting and walking away.
That is kind of a lot of pressure. Make sure the trees survive. Don't let anything happen to them. Well, I've seen a lot of people walk away with redwoods today, which have been gorgeous. Do you have a favorite tree?
Any of our 21 native oak trees are my favorite. I'm a sucker for oaks, but particularly the bur oak is my favorite tree. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Billy, thank you so much for your time. Keep doing what you're doing. It's so great to see the community engaged like this. And yes, cheers to more trees here.
Yes.
The space has so much potential. Thank you.
Go trees.
Go trees. Okay, I took a moment. Ellen here is probably one of the busiest people today. You're the volunteer coordinator of the Forest ReLeaf.
That's right. I've been working with the organization for the last year, and it's been an absolute delight, especially when you get to come out to the community to events like this. Oftentimes we're working with the trees, but when we get to make that connection with people as well, that's when the magic happens.
I can tell. I can feel it here. Talk a bit about, there's a lot of Scott Joplin. We even had the music playing,
Yes.
which was so lovely. But what's going on here? Is this half cello?
This is the violin, and we brought all of these trees out here today to talk about the connection between Scott Joplin's music and nature as well. So we have here 3 of his famous pieces, including the maple leaf rag, which we all know and love. But we also have the sycamore two-step and then the weeping willow rag as well. So each of these 3 trees inspired Scott Joplin in a way, but naming his pieces after pieces of nature also allowed him to add an aura of elegance to his music as well. By borrowing some of the positive connotations we have with nature, he was able to elevate the music of ragtime, which at the time wasn't considered to be something that was particularly classy as well. It's also fantastic marketing because if you think of maple leaves, you tend to think of the maple leaf rag. They're very close together.
Sure.
Yep. So I also have this half violin here, which was donated by String St. Louis. It is actually carved out of maple wood. So maple wood is prized in instruments because of its acoustic resonance. It gives instruments a really bright sound. But it doesn't just stop with violins. Maple was also used in guitars and pianos. So it's possible there's a tie-in between Scott Joplin there, that the maple, the trees, was carved out, that the maple leaf rag was played on an instrument that was made out of maple.
This is incredible. I mean, it's like sometimes music and nature don't instinctively go together, but you just made so much sense about why they do and how they do. This is awesome. How's the day going for you so far?
The day is going great. We love the opportunity to interact, and honestly, just to be able to talk about the overlap between music is wonderful, which is why I'm excited for Concert in the Trees, which is a fundraiser we do in June 1st at our nursery. We'll be having music on site and celebrating once again the connection between chords and growth. So
Is that in the Creve Coeur area?
Creve Coeur location. And then 2 days later, we'll be celebrating Scott Joplin again with the Treemonisha Opera. He actually composed a piece that was an opera about a young woman who was found underneath a tree who led her community forward. So Opera Theater St. Louis and us are doing a collaboration, and I'll be giving a tree talk then. So
Kind of a big deal. Okay, Ellen, thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to the busyness of this great day. Okay, that was so much fun. And how good was the cake? I didn't get a tree today, but over 100 people did. It has been so cool. The community has been brought together. There are kids, there are pets, there are all different types of people. This is awesome. And it's a great way to support the Forest ReLeaf. Again, happy 30th anniversary.